everybody, welcome back. So I'm going to walk us through some transactions that happened. This is week 3 of February. I can't believe how fast this month has been flying by. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that, my bank accounts are up to date, and more so my spending is up to date. So let's go through a few of these now that things have kind of settled on the actual card that I spent on. So first up, we have we can assign this money out to March, and then I think we should be fine to cover that expense once it comes in. So I'm gonna move this money to ready to assign so that it just comes out here and doesn't give me a negative in next month. And then I'm gonna skip forward to March, and what I'm gonna do is only put money in the categories that I know are not refill up to. So my mortgage needs to get funded. That's already a pretty hefty chunk, but such is life. Okay, and then I need to fund my property tax stuff. So 803 will get us there. And then actually I need to check the total because I think it's 965. Yeah. So I'm gonna put another $100.58 here. And that's not going to be anywhere close to what I need for that month, but it'll all literally come back going forward because starting from April, I will be funding this like with $900, so it'll kind of make up for that difference. Yeah, cool. So that's taken care of. I have $755.59. Well, I guess the HOA is next. Oh my gosh. Alarm can get funded. My internet had money left over, and so did electric, so I'm just gonna wait on that. And I can fund my phone. Okay, $3.60. Wonderful. Nothing to scoff at, but still kind of crazy that I barely got through all of these big expenses, but that makes sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that back into or I'll put it in the starting block, I guess. Okay, and then that way when I come to March and I take it out, it'll be fine. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna hop over to my card where I made all of the purchases. So few things have happened. I was able to finally file my taxes. I was just waiting on a couple pieces of info from different places, so finished that up, which is awesome. And then my regular monthly donation came out, and I also got a new water bottle, so needed to pay for that. Now the big one I have not added in here that needs to be, which is the auto work that I needed done on my car. So I know I don't have enough in this category. We're going to figure it out together to see what makes sense. So we're just gonna save it. It's overspent, that's okay, by $400. I want to kind of figure out how to cover this, and there's a few things I'm thinking through. One is I can probably cover a lot of it from some of my categories that I'm like, I know for sure I'm not going to spend out of in the next 7 days. So clothing, for example, I can move shopping, okay, so what does that bring us to? 285. Cool, cool, cool. I will not be going out in the next 7 days, so I'm gonna move that. And I guess I will not be ordering any food. $169.65. I have enough in my junk drawer. So actually, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave these funded because it'll just roll over to next month. Oh, actually, I will be spending this in like the first weekend of March, so I'm just gonna leave it funded because it's gonna need to be spent. But nom-noms, I could use that to cover it, but it actually won't cover the whole thing, so I may as well just let it sit there and roll over to next month. Okay, so we're going to use the junk drawer. Well, it's overspent by $169, and I can just do that from here, so let's do that. Wow. Okay, not terrible. So when this rolls over next month, there won't be anything left in it, so I'll have to fund it, but that's okay. Okay, so that's been funded. When it clears, I will move the money from my checking account and my sinking fund that holds this money and move it over into the credit card to pay it off. Awesome. I will be back shortly when my paycheck comes in so that we can budget that out. All right, before jumping into my paycheck and such as well in this video, I finally got my bill for my doctor's visits, so I need to put that in so that this can start getting calculated properly. So let's do that. We're gonna add a transaction. I just paid it today. And the total was $1,200, almost $1,300. Wonderful. Oh my God, this is crazy. Anyway, I do have the money for it, so I will be transferring. So I need to 1288.51. Okay, so I need to transfer that to my checking. So that I can pay that off, and then make sure that on the budget it looks correct. Okay, cool. So now this is $361.49. So I think the reason it's not the full total, even though I've met my deductible for the year and it's not even the end of February, but the reason it's not the full total is because there were a few things that I used my HSA card for versus paying out of pocket, and that was actually because those payments happened earlier in January, and at that point I had not yet made the determination that I was going to pay out of pocket for my deductible this year, so that's why there's a difference here, but that's okay because this money will just sit in this account and then I need to build back up to the total deduction. So my second paycheck for February came in, and surprisingly actually, so did my state tax return. Still waiting on my federal one, so I'll budget that whenever it comes in. But yeah, I'm going to budget out the money that I got from my paycheck into March, and then put the state tax return towards some of kind of the longer term goals that I have, slash some like giving categories. And I usually do that with my tax return, just because I have some like larger kind of giving goals throughout the year. And yeah, instead of saving and using kind of my like month-to-month money for that, I typically assign some of my tax return to that instead. So jumping into my checking account, I'm going to put in my tax return. And actually for that one, I'm gonna put it, well, first let's put it in ready to assign, and then I'm going to move it to the starting block for a second, because I want to budget my paycheck first. Okay, so that's done, and then we'll come back to it. And then I got paid early actually for some reason, but that's okay. I mean, not complaining. All right, and that was this amount. I don't know why YNAB does this where it orders them in some weird way. I'm gonna reconcile my checking account. Okay, and then that amount, $4,490 and some change, is in ready to assign. I'm going to flip forward. I'm going to go to to March and start assigning it. So definitely need to cover my student loans. I already assigned my last paycheck of February out to some of these big categories, but what I'm gonna do is ensure that kind of the things that are happening in like 2 days are all funded. So my mortgage, property tax and insurance is fine. My HOA, it has a little bit left over from last month, but this kind of fluctuates depending on my water bill, so I don't mind having a little extra in there just in case. My internet Target actually is different this month. For some reason, my billing, well, not for some reason, they changed the price, and I was not able to get my bill reconciled early enough. So for this month, I have to pay like this higher price, and then I've moved back to a different tier from April onwards. So for now, I need to make sure that I have this money budgeted for the new amount. And then for electricity, so I used less than I needed to, and I believe this category is just refill up to. But since I'm doing this before March, it hasn't really flipped over yet. So I know that I had 24.33 left over. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 120 minus 24.33. And it will become green when we get to March. I've already funded the phone, so that takes care of everything up here. Next big ones that will come out are my wheels and deals. I need to start building this category back up. This will automatically happen on the 1st, and all of these will happen on the 1st. So I just took this like automatic transfer in my bank that pulls out the amounts that I need it to go to specific savings accounts. Just makes it a little easier for me. Oops. Plus 27 cents. Okay. And then I think the other one that will get pulled automatically is my fee. And my phone, which is already funded. Okay. So now I have $2,600 to assign. I'm gonna start again at the top. I'm gonna just do all of the groceries up to $400. So again, I had some money left over. And for all of these categories, that's basically what I'm gonna do is I will kind of use my target and then what is left over here to fund. So same with gas. And for healthcare, actually, I realized I have this $212.83, and I think every month is just this 35, so that's about 6-ish months that is covered. So I'm actually just gonna snooze this because I'll just use the money that's already, oh, I can't yet, it's not March. Well, I'm gonna get rid of this target for now then, and it will just be green until that gets closer to maybe like $50, and then I can start building it up again, but I don't want to just keep adding funds to it. Okay. So subscriptions, this one I will add the full 90 because I save for some like non-monthly fees in here. I just have broken it out. So like things like my GeForce subscription or YNAB are not things I pay for monthly, but I'm just using, you know, keeping it in this account and it can just grow. So when the time comes to pay for that, I'll have the money for it. Okay, auto insurance is a must, so is life insurance. And then for the junk drawer, I think I'm going to figure out, so my average spend is only it has been $247.20. This is only really 2 months worth of data, because I have only been using YNAB for a couple of months. So I'm gonna try and see if 250 works, and then we can figure out, right? I'm trying to like just play around with these and see if it doesn't work, you know, I can always come back and move things around, but I want to try to not have as many like miscellaneous kind of spends on things, but get better about really tracking them in the accounts or in the categories that they should be tracked in. To understand where I spend more money or spend money on certain things. Cool. So I'm gonna fund my travel, and then I will also fund this, and I'm only gonna add $83 because I already had some money for what I thought was going to be the end of February, but actually is a March appointment, so it just rolls over. And I already have 125 in here, and what is my, oh, just 150. Okay, actually I'm gonna come back to this because I realized that I have quite a few things that I've kind of planned with some friends this month, and so I do actually probably need more money than what the target is. So yeah, I will be back for that. Okay, I've done the gifts. Let's do all of the retirement stuff. I need to fund this, and okay. So I have a few things that are coming up. 125 should cover like 2 meals out probably. But I want to say I have like 3 or 4 meals out probably this month. So maybe my grocery budget will not be as high, but that's okay. I'm going to keep it in groceries and I can always cover the overspending if there is overspending, but I want to try not to spend more than, let's just put it at 250. So I need another 125 here. I'm also going to put $100 in my espresso martini tower just because I feel like between those two it'll either be going out with friends or eating out with friends. I'm not sure yet which one it will be. And I might have a couple classes to attend, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in there. Whew, okay, it's getting lower. That's fine. I'm gonna fund my big shiny things because I'm just saving up. Eventually I'm gonna need a new phone, so I just want to like start saving money towards that so that I don't have a huge bill, or you know, trying to float it on a credit card or something like that. And then 150, 119. What should I do? Oh, I also had this 410, so let me move that to ready to assign as well. Okay. I'm sure there's some things I should be doing. I don't know if I'm gonna order food. Well, let's just put 35 bucks in there to be safe. May as well give myself a little something. I'm gonna probably, I should just fund these back a bit because I drained them completely last month. And then I don't know if I need a shopping and a clothing category. I feel like it's kind of redundant. Maybe just make a one shopping category because I don't really, I feel like the other stuff is covered. Things for the house gets covered under restock and refresh. I don't spend a lot of money on clothes and or other items. Okay, well, something to think about in the future. I will leave it like that for now. I just don't like that it has two, like, it's two underfunded categories versus if I just had a shopping line for like 75 bucks, which is not, I know the total there. What's that? 80 plus 50 is 130. So divide that by 265. Yeah, 70 is perfect. Okay, have I ever assigned? I'm just gonna do this. You know what? Let me take this money out. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna delete this category. I guess I've never assigned money to it. That's cool. And then I'm gonna change this target to 75, refill up to, and I'm gonna put that other 25. And it can just stay there. Eventually I'll build it back up, but it's okay for now. So I have $70.29, and I think what I'm gonna do for the first time is actually go into my wish farm maybe? Oh, actually no, I need to fund some money towards my car. Okay, and then $25 seems much more realistic. Oh my gosh. Okay, but yay, 25 bucks. I want to fund towards my wish farm, so maybe I'll just do $5 in each. Oh, these don't have targets. No wonder. I was wondering what I'm doing. Okay. I need some amount eventually. I don't need a due date though, so how do I, maybe it's a balance of, okay. Let's just say I want like $300 for skincare stuff. The doc I think was like also around, let's put 350. And this behemoth, at some point, if I do want a new camera, I think I'm gonna be looking at $2,500. Okay. Oof. Well, you know, I guess $5 is better than nothing. And then I'm gonna put the rest of it here, work towards that first. Okay, hey, there's some stuff in the wish farm. That's great. Cool, so I'm gonna jump back to February and take out the tax return money. That'll go to ready to assign, and then I'm gonna jump back to March, and there are a few things that I want to beef up using this tax refund. So the first is I'm gonna go ahead and fully fund my Proud to Give category, and I'm also going to go ahead and fully fund my annual contributions category. So that's all set. And then I want to go into expect the unexpected. Okay, so here's where I need to do a bit of math. For wheels and deals, so I'm going to continue putting money in there every month, but what I realized is that I will probably need a few things at some point, probably not in the next like 9 months, but at some point I will need to get, you know, new brakes. I have to do my auto registration at the end of the year, and maybe in another like 6 to 7 months I'll probably need another oil change. So just put some very rough numbers here, but that's about, let's see, $12.50 plus $62, $63. So yeah, like 13, or like, yeah, 1300, 1310, something like that. Anyway, I need to get back up there. So what I'm going to do is I have put this $139 for my paycheck, and I'm going to actually make a note because I will forget later. I mean, not that it matters now that I only have one checking account, but the reason is that $139 will get auto transferred, and then the rest that I want to put in brain. Okay, the rest that I want to put in, I need to do it manually. So I want this to go back up. I want to say, like, let's have 500 in there for now. So if I do 500, what's that? Oops. 500 minus 139, 17 is 360.83. So let's add that, which, yes, is 500, but I needed to know the number. Okay, sorry. And then I think I'm going to add 125 here, just to bring that up to like $1,200. So make a note for myself. And then the health down payment and new car are the other ones that I definitely want to fund. So for new car, this is not automatic, so I'll just add this total together. Basically, I need $401 more here. So I'm just gonna do the whole thing and be done with this, so I don't have to do it every month. And if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I've already spent my deductible this year, and it's literally the end of the second month. But I have made some notes about what my deductible is and then my out-of-pocket maximum for the year. The deductible counts towards this, and actually there's been more than that spent. I think there's only roughly like $2,000 more in the out-of-pocket maximum. But obviously this 361, right, will have to be used if I have other doctor's appointments, which I probably will. So I want to just fund it up to at least what do I want to do? Let's just say 600. So I already have this 361.49 in there. Let's just do like 650. That feels okay. And then I think if I go forward in the future, oh, it doesn't have anything. Anyway, I don't know why, but that's okay. Eventually this will go back up. So I'm just gonna keep it there, and let's see what I need to add kind of month over month. And then I want to put the rest of this, maybe. Yeah, let's put the rest of it in my unemployment umbrella. Cool. I think that feels good. And then with my next second half, I guess, of my refund from the Fed, I will put it into a few other categories. Yeah. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Noodlenomics. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and get notified when I post new content. And as always, I'll see you on the next episode of Noodlenomics.